Hello friends, much anticipated video. I have Nichelle
Hi.
here as well. We are gonna film a hair tutorial on how I curl my hair. Before we get into it, I want to just tell you my process. Usually I wash my hair twice a week, and on the day I wash my hair, I dry it and I straighten it and I wear it straight for one day. And then the next day I get in the shower and I usually just like get a little thin headband, and before I shower I put my hair up just like this, put it in a bun, get in the shower, just not my hair. And then I get out of the shower and I usually, there's like a little bit of it that might be a little bit damp or wet just from like splatter, and I'll usually just plug in the blow dryer and just quickly kind of like dry it off. And then I use Living Proof dry shampoo and I spray that in my hair and kind of let it sit for a second, and then I do my makeup, and then I go through and curl my hair. So I'm just gonna show you the process of how I curl my hair. We're gonna do it in slow-mo. This video will probably be long, but so you guys can really see just how I do my full like hair curling for the day. So
We were gonna try to film this for you guys. I'll come over here so you can
Okay.
do your thing. We were gonna try to film this for you guys several weeks ago, but she was playing with growing her hair out a little bit.
yeah.
And it just doesn't curl the same way. So just remember that it may not curl the exact same way if you have length. She has very thick hair, guys.
Yeah, like, and there's a lot of hair. I think that's one thing people always are like, oh, it looks like thinner maybe. But there's like a lot of like bulk to it. My hairdresser does like a blunt bob. We don't have any layers. If there are any layers, it's like from like broken pieces, but she tries to cut everything just like flat.
Like I have a blunt bob and it looks very different.
Yeah, and
Than
hers
what
is just a
hers-
little longer, so
Yeah.
got a little cute wave in there as well. So I use a straightener to curl. If I do a curling iron, it's like later in the week once I've like slept on it a little bit. But this is the Bio Ionic 10X. I've used this one for the last 2 years. I think I got it at the Nordstrom Anniversary sale like maybe 3 years ago now. So what I'll do is I'll just take a little bit and flip it out and just kind of curl it down. And if I need to pull out any pieces at the bottom, I will. I usually let it like sit pretty tight and go all the way through. And then it'll fall like once more hair starts laying on it.
Do you do the curl all the way to the bottom instead of leaving a little bit at the bottom out?
On this bottom section, I do.
That's probably how you get your volume, how it comes
Kinda
out a
stays
little bit
up.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, and some of these like back pieces, I don't really worry about as much. They're not really getting seen. And usually, like when I'm not videoing this is taking me like anywhere from like 6 to 8 minutes to like do my entire head. So I'm kind of
Ultimately,
quickly going
It's
through.
like you're getting a bend. So it might not be a full curl, but she's at least getting a bend in it to kind of give it some definition.
Exactly. So just I'm pulling it through so you can see this like really good curl. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I kind of like pay a little bit closer attention once I get to like some of the pieces that are going to be like up on the top. But for just the bottom, this is just kind of the base layer.
I think it's really important too, because like you have a really good flat iron to where you're not getting burnt when you're touching, but if you can
Right.
use both hands, get a flat iron that's not going to necessarily burn you if you're using two hands.
And this one has like the ridges right here to
Yeah.
where like I'm touching this and it's not hot at all. So this is the bottom. Sometimes depending on like how big I want the curls or what I have going on, I will put hairspray in it right here and like let that sit and kind of like marinate. But for today, since it's just like a regular day, I'm not really doing anything too crazy with my hair or have any event or anything. I'm just gonna let it sit like normal. Then I just kind of come back to the next section, and you can make the pieces however like big or small you want, and it's just pulling down here. I'll probably leave that part out and I just kind of pull it down. So in a few days, like, so I will sleep on this tonight, and then tomorrow I really won't even touch it up unless it's like really flattened out for some reason. But that's what kind of creates like day 3 hair for me, is like what the like looser beach waves that I feel like everybody's like, how do you get those? And I'm like, well, go to sleep.
Lay on your silk pillowcase.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's where the silk pillowcase I feel like comes into play, because I'm able to like sleep on the curls and they don't get like completely ruined or frizzy.
How long do you think it took you to learn the wrist movement of curling with a flat iron?
It took a little while. I was like afraid of it at first. When I first started curling my hair, I was just using like a curling iron, which was fine. And then this became so much faster once I got it down.
Did you get it from Suzanne? Who did your
She
hair?
taught me, and then a friend of mine always used her flat iron to do it. And so I was like, okay, I can definitely try this out.
I will say it's so much easier if you have short hair to do it with a flat iron. The
Yeah.
twist of your wrist gets really hard when your hair is a little bit longer. But she is right. It's so much less time, and the hold stays, I feel like, a little bit better because the heat is very different in a flat iron than it is a curling iron.
Yeah, I mean, I have this like turned up all the way to like 450, which is really hot, but I'm not putting heat on my hair every day, so that's my justification, I guess. Yeah, and then you just kind of like, if you watch how I let this like top part fall off, so this movement right here, and then I kind of undo it and then pull, and that creates this curl, which I feel like it'll take a little bit of time. Don't give up. You can do it. See, that one was just a little bit smaller, but it'll just kind of fall right into there. So then that's the next section. I'll usually just kind of like pull it up just a little bit, and sometimes I'll do this full section at the top. Today I'm gonna just do one more wave and then the top pieces, but it also just depends on like how big you want the curls, like how much volume, because I could do like thinner sections. I feel like that would like amp up my volume.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people always want to know what you ask for with your hair color whenever you get it done.
So you guys can see like my natural color is this kind of like darker, dirty blonde. I right now and for the past like year, we've probably just been doing like partial highlights, but I've added in a little bit of like some dimension kind of throughout, so it's not all just like bright blonde. There's a little bit of dimension, but for the summer we usually just do like a bright blonde. I don't know what the numbers are or what like.
I feel like she probably uses an ashy toner on you.
Yeah, I don't know. But I just ask, like usually in the summer I'm like doing like pretty bright blonde, and then I'll like add in some low lights once it's like a little bit more wintry.
Yeah.
But we just do a partial highlight and haircut, and I go about every like 6 weeks or so. So it's a lot of upkeep, but I feel like it's kind of my signature like thing. So I don't mind it. It's something I've just done forever and I like doing.
Love that.
Yeah, so that's, and sometimes I feel like the curls on this side of my face look different.
I think number one, length, because you do have more hair on this side.
True.
But then also I've learned that it depends on what side you sleep on the most. Your hair does differently on one side than the other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, mine does that too.
It's very interesting.
I tend to lay on this side more. And so you can actually see it. Like, the curl doesn't hold as much as it does on this side.
Oh, that's so interesting. It's good to know. Not that I'm gonna make any changes.
No.
But
did you get in the habit of laying on one side, like your left side, whenever you're pregnant? Because remember they told you had to lay on this one side.
And I had the pregnancy pillow.
Yes.
So the thing was like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even after I had both girls, I was like,
It's like a
I'm
comfort
gonna
thing.
keep this for a little while. Chris is like, yeah, we're gonna need that to go.
The dog, the pillow,
Right.
Gotta go.
Yeah, too much. So now you can see like this is what the back kind of looks like. And like I said, if there's like a piece I maybe missed, I don't really worry about it that much because once I put the top down, it kind of all blends together.
Yeah.
Um,
This right here, the straight ends are going to give her that beachy look tomorrow, because when you curl it all the way down, it tends to look a little bit more formal, like
Yes.
rounded out, where this gives it that like lived in look.
even like this one is a little curled for me. So at the end, I'll probably like run the straightener over this and straighten it out so it's not that sharp curl. Because they're mostly just having like a good bend, which is what we want. So now we have the top section. I just try to pull it onto like one of each side. And usually like my part is not in the direct middle, but it's just kind of in line with this eyebrow. And that's where I'll kind of have the part, but then in a few days I might like flip it over and make my part a little bit further. And that's where I get a lot of volume up here on the top. But that kind of also extends me another day if I don't want to wash my hair. And then I'll do like a slicked back pony the day before I like really don't want to wash my hair.
Oh yeah.
So it's a good way to keep the hair going.
And whether we want to admit it or not, we usually have our best hair days when it's dirty.
I know.
Yeah.
It's always funny. I feel like whenever the hair is the dirtiest, I'm like, ew, it feels like
We know.
heavy.
Yeah.
And those are always the days people are like, your hair today.
Yeah.
It feels not like it's best.
Yep.
It's so funny. So here I'm just trying to kind of like pull up and out a little bit more. And then I'll just leave this one sitting up here.
The other thing that she's doing is she's actually, if you see, she's twisting away from her face on each side.
Always twisting away from the face. I feel like that's one thing I've learned. And this one I kind of just do a little bit more like this. So now I'll kind of just let this side sit for a second. Come over here.
We were talking about getting tattoos the other day. Was it yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all,
Started.
we have an itch.
I know. Trying to find places that number one do fine lines, but number two take walk-ins. Like you have to make an appointment now months out.
Yeah, when I got this tattoo, which is like a bunch of wildflowers, I had to make an appointment like a month in advance, and Nichelle couldn't go, or like it was Nichelle and my best friend Molly. We were all gonna go together, and they like wouldn't let us. So,
Nope.
which
Okay.
I you know, I know it was like a little bit more pandemic time.
Yeah.
But,
Takes
we're
fun
like-
out of it.
so ready to get another tattoo. They're so addicting. All right, so just finishing up these last pieces, you can see it's just kind of like creating a little bit of a bend. And then I feel like what I do from here is I have these 2 alligator clips, and I am not gonna like put my fingers through it just yet, but I'm just gonna pull it back and leave it like that for like probably 10 minutes or so. So usually I do this and then I do my makeup, and then I take them out after 10 minutes and kind of play with them. And if I feel like I need to put some like hairspray or anything, or if I want it to be like a little bit more bold on the roots, I'll do like a root booster. But even just leaving them in for like 1 minute really kind of just like, I don't know what this does. It kind
Settles
of
a little
like
bit?
pulls it off my face. Just kind of like the heat is all kind of cooling. I want it to like cool away from my face. This is kind of what the back and all of that looks like. You can probably see some of my like natural hair color.
Yep.
Really good back there.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll pretend like that was 10 minutes. Go through and just tussle them up a little bit. And then throughout the day, they will fall. And like I said, if there's any pieces, like this one was like a little bit kind of curly, I'll take this and just kind of like
Steam her down a little bit.
quickly get out in there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So hope this was helpful. That's how I curl my hair. Yeah.
Love it.